Welcome to UAV drone design. In the last tutorial we created the turbine housing. However, I'm not very happy with it, so I'm going to edit this feature. And probably the reason why it got it so blocky here is because these lines need to be adjusted, so I will do that. I'm going to delete these surface. I'm going to edit this line, spacebar. I'm just gonna bring out this handlebar, something about there, so it won't be that blocky. And maybe bring this out a little bit and leave it like that. And let's have a look at what we have on this one. So if you look at here, we have a relationship, so we need to delete that. So then we're going to delete all relation. So now we can hold on. Yeah, so now we can create the shape we are looking for. Okay, so let's try to add our let's try to make our surface now. So left surface, we're going to choose this line, and then we're going to choose that line, and for the guide curves we're going to choose that, this line and this line. And that's a lot better surface, exactly what I was looking for. And here we will add our chamfer. Right, so let's mirror this surface over to the other side. So let's go to features, mirror, and then we're going to choose from here the front plane, and we're going to choose bodies. That looks good. Let's see the top of it. Okay, it's not so bad. So to get rid of these seam, let's see if we can go to surfaces, knit surface. We're going to knit this together, and the body. Let's knit that together, and let's see if we can add our fillet to this seam. Let's try one. Looks like maybe 0.1. Now I won't be able to add the fillet that way, so let's clear that. Let's see a face fillet. Let's choose this side, and let's choose this side, and then let's add to that. Now I won't be able to do it, but there's other thing we can do to get rid of it. Is we're going to go to top plane, and we're going to sketch on top plane, and then we're going to go to center rectangle, snap somewhere in the middle, and we're going to cut out about that much. We're going to go to surface, trim surface, trim this out. So in SolidWorks there's other methods that you can get the same result done, so it's always good to know these tips and tricks. So let's go to now to boundary surface, and we're going to choose this edge and the edge, and we're going to choose tangents to face on both edges. So tangents to face, and we press OK. And you can see now we got rid of that seam that we had there in the middle, so it's on one nice smooth surface. So all we have to do now is knit these together, knit that, knit this one, knit all these three together. Okay, so that's good. So now we have no seam on the top of there. Okay. Yeah, so the one thing we need to do is we need to trim back our body. So we're going to go back to our display states and then go up to display states, and then we're going to sketch on the top plane. And we know already that the end of this drone is falls to about there, and that's the end of the drone, and that's where the propeller mount comes out and the propellers itself. So let's just double check. Oh, that looks good. Okay, so exit the sketch, and we're gonna sketch on the top plane. So let's sketch on the top plane, and then we're just going to trim down. Let's choose a construction geometry or a line. Let's choose a line, and we're going to trim back about that much. Okay, you can always come in closer and then move this forward about there. Press OK on that, and then we're gonna go to surfaces, and we're going to trim surface, and we're going to remove that and all these bits here. Okay, so now we have perfect place for our engine mount, motor mount. So let's go back to our second display state and see what we have. Okay, so if we go to our picture, you can see that the edge of the body is circular, so we might need to get the end of the body to that circular state. So let's see if we can get that done. So we want this the end part to transition into a nice circular shape. So if you look at our picture here, you see that the whole thing's transition into a circular shape too, so that's where the propeller goes. So let's create that. So we're going to need a we're going to make a sketch on the top plane. Okay, and then we're going to make a line on top of this line. Okay, and then we're going to trim these back. We're going to surfaces, and we're going to trim this section back. Good. And then we're going to hide this line. Okay, and then we're going to make another sketch on the front plane, just to create a plane. So yes, let's go to the front plane. Let's hit the sketch, and then let's choose a construction geometry. And exit the sketch, and let's add our plane to about here. Okay, and now let's sketch on this plane, and then we're going to sketch a circle and somewhere in the middle, and we're gonna come out about this far to this edge, not bigger. About that, and we're going to add a dimension to that. So I'm thinking 24.5. 5 would do it. That looks good. So I'm going to press OK on that. And what we're going to do now is we're going to create a boundary surface all the way from these profiles here to that profile. So let's go to surfaces, exit the sketch first. Okay, let's go to boundary surface. Let's choose the circle first, and then let's choose selection manager, and then let's choose all of these edges. Okay, so let's choose this edge, the edge, that edge, and press OK. Alright, it didn't work. Okay, Okay, fine. So once you selected the edges from this side and then this side, and then you just come down here when you see this small pop-up window, and then you check curve tangent is, let's try tangent to face. Let's wait for it to generate it, and that looks good, and I'm gonna check that. So now that's created our transition all the way into that circle. So let's hide this plane. Okay, so let's have a look at our shape that we have, our surface. Right, and let's bring up our picture. So it's fairly similar to that one. So that looks good. If we come over here and look at that, that looks good. Okay, perfect. I like that. And then I'm gonna leave this tutorial here, and then when we come back for the next tutorial, we're going to work with some other surfaces and possibly the wings. And see you then.